In this video, we're going to go over something huge but simple. It is called the zero product property. It is used to solve when you have two things being multiplied, two or more things actually being multiplied that equal to 0. So we're going to start out with things that are in factored form. And if you look at that, you might say, hey, I've factored things out like this before. It's reverse foiling. You're darn right. And we're going to use this technique to solve all kinds of problems in a later video. So, without any further ado, how do we solve something of this form? X plus 1 in parentheses times x minus 5 equals 0. Well, I'm going to start out with a really simple idea. I'm going to start out with the idea of how would you solve an equation if you had a times b equals 0, just logically. If you have a number times another number, a times b, and you know that it equals 0, what do you know that either a, b, or both a and b need to equal? If they multiply to give you 0, one or both of a and or b need to be 0, right? Because 0 times any number is 0. So the only way this is true is if a is 0 and or b is 0. Because if a is 0, 0 times b is 0. And if b is 0, 0 times a is 0. So we're going to apply that same idea here. This whole thing is a number times another number. So either x plus 1 is 0, in which case 0 times x minus 5 is 0, or x minus 5 is 0. 0 times x plus 1 is 0. So that's all I have to do. I set each value in the product equal to 0. Beautiful. And those equations are super easy to solve. You might have solved them in your head already. If not, though, you can just subtract 1 from both sides, and you get x equals negative 1, or then we add 5 to both sides here, plus 5, so x is equal to 5. That's it. It's that quick, but it goes off this very important logical idea. That's known as the zero product property. If you have a product of two numbers or more, and it equals 0, then one or all of the numbers, or somewhere in between, something's got to equal 0 in that product. Now, to check your answer, just like other equations, we're going to plug these values in, but watch what happens when we do that. If I plug negative 1 in for x into each expression, the question is, do we equal 0? Well, negative 1 plus 1 is 0, which means I don't care what this value is, because 0 times any number is 0. Now I'm going to do the next one mentally. If we were to plug 5 into here, what's 5 minus 5? 0. So even though we're plugging 5 in here to get some number, 0 times some number is 0. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Let's keep rolling. So we have 2x minus 7 times x plus 13 equals 0. So either this part of the product equals 0 or that part of the product equals 0. So we should set each part equal to 0. 2x minus 7 equals 0 or x plus 13 equals 0. Sweet. I love this. I've been teaching it for years and I still love it. So now all we do is solve these simple equations. We add 7 to both sides, not bad. 0 plus 7 is 7, and the 7's cancel out on the left. And then we divide both sides by 2 to get the x alone. Just solving a normal equation. So x equals 7 halves, or here we would subtract 13 from both sides. Subtract 13. And you're left with x is equal to negative 13. I don't know why I wrote it that far up, but those are our two solutions. And sure enough, if I were to plug 7 halves into there, just to check it, 2 times 7 halves minus 7, the 2's would divide out, leaving you with 7 minus 7, which is 0. So all of that becomes 0 when x is 7 halves, and 0 times 7 halves plus 13, don't care what that number is, it's equal to 0. Negative 13 plus 13 is 0. Times whatever number that is when we plug in negative 13 is still 0. Zero product property. All right, one last one, and then in the next video after this one, we're going to go over how to use the zero product property to solve out equations that look like this. X squared minus 5x, let's say that's, I don't know, minus 6 equal to 0. I wonder how we do that. It's going to be cool. Okay, so this one here, I added in a little coefficient on the outside. Now that 3 doesn't factor in because even though you have a product of, basically it's like 3 times x minus 7 is a, 4x plus 9 is b, equals 0, the 3 can't equal 0. It's 3. So the only things you're setting equal to 0 are x minus 7 and 4x plus 9. So you have x minus 7 equals 0 or 4x plus 9 equals 0. Beautiful. Now just solve each equation. x minus 7 equals 0, we'd add 7 to both sides. I'm going to do that mentally. We'd get x equals 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. This one, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. I'm going to do a little bit of mental math in this one, mixing in how I eventually want you to solve equations. So we subtract 9 from both sides, and then we divide both sides by 4. And so that's going to leave me with x equals negative 9/4. Zero product property, positively amazing. See you in the next video.